This stuff Yerushalmi Terumos. The article always part of edition. We're at the header and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th line down in Tesla Aleph. Ba'asel Shach L'Truma v'Chulei. And the word obviously starts at that. Lo speak L'Shalom Ma'achni Skarsha, which will be the beginning of the section in the Vilna. Three lines before the Mishnah. Malacha Beis, on Lamed Beis, on the base. Okay, so this going back on the Mishnah, which said that that Abbas Yisrael, who ate Truma and afterwards married a Kohen, the Truma that Kohen did not acquire yet, she ate it, she pays the Kohen Kodesh herself. Truma that Kohen already acquired, she pays the Kohen to the Bailam, which keeps the Chemesh. It's because they said that somebody who eats Truma Shogeg pays the Kohen to the Bailam, but the Chemesh to whoever he wants. So here, Lo Yisbika L'Shalom Ad Sheniz Garsha. So she was married to a Kohen, but she didn't pay until she got divorced from the Kohen. So she didn't set aside the Tashlumei Truma, and now she wants to set aside. Can she set aside pay to the Kohen, or did she not? Since she didn't set aside by the time she's married to the Kohen, too late. So let's look at it this way. If she had several mices to give, now the near, by the Kavanaki explains, we're talking about fruit, which is tevel for Truma Meiser, and she didn't yet take off the Trumas Meisers, and she divorced. Shema Shalah, she was Zeichen the Trumas Meisers when she was still the wife of the Kohen, and this sugya holds, according to the near again, in the Kavanaki, that Matar Shlo Hurma can be Shurma Damir. So she's Zeichen then. So same thing here with the Tashlumei Truma. So the Gemara says, no, Taman Maisus Misu when she was an Ashes Kohen, it's known that there were in this Kri, in this the basket of Tevel, Trumas and Maisers, which were distinct, not really distinct, but they were imminently to be given. So therefore, it's as if she was Zeichen them. But here, whatever's going to be Tashlumei Truma is not Muslim. It's a wild card. Where it's coming from? It does not come from a specific designated batch. She can take any chulin she wants. So maybe she hasn't been Zeichen in that chulin altogether. Maybe someone just coming later on. So Ma Damila, what's it analogous to? Pitrei Chamorim, to first the redemption of donkeys. So the way the Kavanaki explains it, it's Pitrei Chamorim also she can keep for herself, even though she hasn't yet designated the set by the time of divorce. That's the way the Kavanaki explains it. So I said that even though they can take any set they want, nevertheless we say that it's as if he was Mafresh them ready and Zochen them ready. And here too, she's Garsha, she can set aside the Tashlumei Truma for whatever she wants, just like she could have set aside, and he says she wanted, and she's Zochen herself. Now, but from the Halacha and the Rambam, it's clear that he didn't like to learn like this, but rather that Dafka Petach Hamor, where the somebody inherited Petach Hamor, it's specifically where what's the case? Where the Yoresh, you're mafresh to yourself. Case where they were born in the house of Israel, they're Chaim and Pidyon, and they came to the Rishus of a Kohen, and he could have kept the Chamor somehow came to the Rishus of Kohen and could have redeemed them and kept them for himself. He died, and then his grandson was Yisrael, inherited him from the Kohen. He has to be mafresh on them a set, and they're his. That's like he gets to keep the set. And so that even though he can set aside any say he wants, the opinion is not Yisrael, nevertheless we say it's as if it was mafresh them and he's Zocha on them. So according to the Rambam, it's clear And that's specifically, and specifically because he was Yorish them. And since he was Yorish them, so therefore he had some sort of shaykhs already. So the Chamor, and therefore the opinion of the Bet Chamor, and therefore when it's average to say, whatever it is, he can keep it for himself. Because he owned the Bet Chamor. But here, by the Truma, doesn't really seem to be that way. The Truma, Truma is for Truma she never owned, she ate it. She never owned it. So therefore, I don't think it's necessarily comparable. So it's possible in the Gemara, Madam Picha Chamor, yes, it's in the Picha Chamor, but it's not the same in the sense that there it's specifically a Yoresh, and here she's not a Yoresh. I don't know if the article makes that statement. Let's see what he says. He says here. Chamor, which are not redeemed. She married Cohen. She has to redeem them, but she's allowed to take the pidyon for herself. And before she redeemed them, she got divorced. So you can put the pidyon Chamorim, and she's allowed to take the pidyon for herself because she zachta when she was still married. So he wants this like the Kavanoki. So he wants to know like this case also. When she's still married to Cohen, she was zoich in the pairs of Truma, but she's going to set aside afterwards to the Shlumin. Therefore, she can really keep herself, and if she wants to, when she gets going, she should actually charge the Kohen for it. And that's the Rosh Sirilio, the Marai Filta, and the Gra. But he does bring down that the Rambam does not paskin that way. Rambam Chumas paskins that the woman has to give the Beres Tashlumin to Kohen without receiving money. And obviously, the Rambam explained our Gemara in a different way, like I explained it, I guess. It's because clearly that it's like Pichur Chamorim, but it's not like Pichur Chamorim because it's there, it's a Yoresh, and here it's not a Yoresh. So obviously that's the distinction. Okay. Halacha Beis. This is Halacha Beis, Mishnah Gimel. Amachas Pola Besarcha of Truma. You are the host, and you gave your workers and your guests Truma, who are not Kohanim. Who Misham is the Karen? You have to pay the Karen because you're the one who stole from the Shevet. They Misham is Chomesh, but they have to pay the Chomesh because they need the Kapara. Divrei Meir. Hey Misham Keresh v'Chomesh. No, they have to pay the Karen and the Chumash. It's all part of their requirement because they're the ones who ate it. He pays, the host pays to the guest or to his parlim the value of their Suda, which the Gemara has to explain for us. Okay, now next to the next Mishnah, which is Mishnah Dalet. Hagonei b'tshuva v'lachlasem, he stole tshuva and not eat it. Shines their shlume kefil to make tshuva, it's got to pay kefil. The double the value of the truma. Achlav, he pays him. Mishan Shnei Kronim, he pays 2 Kronim because of Kefil. The Chomesh and a Chomesh. Karen, the Chomesh, the Karen and the Chomesh that's come to the Kukulin. The Karen and the double, the Karen comes to Mei Truma. It's a special halacha. If the Shulchan only applies the original Karen, and which is actually the full value or the full amount. The second Karen is the made Truma, the value as Truma. Okay, but God have Truma's Hektish, Lachlev, you stole Truma from Hektish and ate it. Ate it, Misham Shnei Chumshim, again, that's pay 2 Chumshim, because of the Megillah Halacha and the Karen. Shem Hektish, Shlume Kefil, but there's no Kefil because you don't pay Kefil Hektish, because it says Re'eu, right? Yeah, Shlei Shagor Shmos Chav Ches Ches Yishayim Shine Re'eu V'lo Hektish. Okay, that was Mishnah Dalet. Now Mishnah Hey. You can't make Tashum Mitzvah of Lekut Shulchan Peah because they never had an obligation of Trumas Maisus. You got to give Chulim with 2 Konim. V'lo Maisurishim no Trumas, you also can't give from Maisurishim for which Trumas Maisu was taken. V'lo mi Maisu Sheni, not from Maisu Sheni, or Hektish Sheniftu. None of these have a status of Chulim with 2 Konim. Shein Hektish, but there's a Hektish. Divrei Meir. This because all these are hektish, and you can't redeem hektish with hektish. Go right, Meir. The Chachamim say are matir in all these. It could be that it says the right Meir sheet of the Master Sheni's moment. Gavoa and Chachamim like Rabbi holds the moment hediot. I don't think actually that comes up though here in the Gemara. Yeah, I don't think it does. Okay, so it says that's the end of the Mishnah. Says the Gemara, which goes back to the Humashamis Akem Mishamis Lechemesh by Machos Polivis or Chav Truma. So Hare Meir Omer Mishalmin. So right, Brooklyn Meir and Chamin, they both have to pay. Babai pays the Karen, and the Pauline pay the Chumash. Even Chamin that Pauline pay the Karen, the Babai has to reimburse them for the value of the Sunnah which the Karen was included. So Hare Meir Mishalmin, Rabbanim Mishalmin. They both have to pay. Both have to pay. Mamina, what's the nafkina between the two of them? Amr Rabbi Yochanan Ikar Suda Beinayim. So the way the Kaminoki explains it, he says there is obviously the difference between a man and Yerushalmi. The difference between the Mei Suda and the Mei Keren. The Mei Keren obviously is full value. The Mei Suda is what the Suda would be worth under other circumstances. But what is there more between the two of them? So the difference is the only difference is Iker Suda, right? Who's the Iker Suda? Remember, Iker Suda Babais. Babais gives Mizonos to his workers or to his guests, so it remains his. And all the Paulim have, or the guests have, is the right to eat on his table. Therefore, if he gives in Truma, the Babais has to pay the Karen to the Kohen. But the Chumash, of course, always is Paulim with Orchin have less because it's a kapara for the Avera. Iker Suda Babai, Abanamai Iker Suda Baal Lepoilim. Iker Suda belongs to Paulim. Suda, which is given to Paulim as part of their wages, it's theirs at the time they eat it. Therefore, they're the ones that have to pay the carrot. Presumably, the same thing seems to be true about Orchim as well. And about Bayis has to pay the Dmei Suda Bon. In other words, he was chayiv to pay. Not what I say by guess, but by Paulim, he had a halacha that he was chayiv to pay for their meal. So therefore, he has to reimburse them that. So it's interesting because the Rambam Paskins also that Machal Pol is Shumas Yud Yud, Machal Polim is Orchim Tumah, Vem Shamin Kam B'Choj Nesha Ein Kashoykin, Shamin made Sudasa. So the guests, anybody guests have a meal at your house, you're obligated to pay them with a suda, to give them a suda. And if you messed up somehow, and they had to pay for the Chuma you inadvertently fed them, then you have to pay the Dmei Suda for them, which is fascinating. I love fascinating halacha. Reish Lakish Amar, the Tfeila B'Neim. Reish Lakish said, no. It's the difference is the Tosefes Suda, the condiments, like the vinegar and the toasted grains, which he gave them as condiments, even though he was not required to give them these things. It was their condiments, additional maybe side dishes, which are not part of the Iker Suda. Mermat Tfeila Be'al Bais. And it says that Tfeila is the Bais. The Bais is not given the made Tfeila, because that's not part of what he has to pay to the Poalim. And therefore, he has to reimburse them for that. Rabbanan made Tfeila Poalim. Also made Tfeila, which he gave them. He has to give back to them because they actually so again, it's hard to understand this works with Orchim. So I don't think the Rambam Paskins like Reish Lakish, Paskins like Yochanan, but like Reish Lakish, I assume going to build upon him. That Rabbi Meir holds that Tfeila is belongs to Baal Bais, and therefore he pays for the Karen, and the Tfeila just not sure maybe he still has to pay for it. It's paid for as well. If it's true, I guess he does. Meir said, Baramei Tfeila Poalim means that's part of the Mei Suda, they have to reimburse them, even though it's Tosefes. It's an additional, like, Bakshish, a different amount. We didn't have to give them, nevertheless, when he makes restitution to them for having deprived them of their, having to have to pay for their eating that Truma of Tfeila, he also has to pay them for the Tfeila as well. Okay, I'm not sure why not. I mean, they did eat on his cheshbon, but Kavanaki says that and he doesn't have to pay Well, the way he explains that, I think the way he's explaining is that the Baal Bayis ask him to make tefillah to if it's Trumas, he has to give it to a Kohen. It's Tashlumei Truma, but and obviously he doesn't have to give it to the workers. I wouldn't say tefillah pula. I wouldn't say you have to add the tefillah to them because that was part and parcel of what he decided to give them. That's not clear to me exactly how that works. Let's see if the article helps here. So he has to go give him a shot. From the Rash and the Rush. Evidently, this is the Gra and the Ridbaz and Beer. Kevsky will have this give him a shot. Yeah. Quite it's very complicated. The way so let's see the red bars inside. The red bars is a shot here. Shimon Lishman Nafgin Bezebet Fair Pesha Rashzal. Who's got to go out to make the effort to gather the true chulim to going back to Tashlumin Truma? The Mayor had to Ba'abais. He's got to do it. But I think I'll Palim. So Tefillah is totally different meaning here. Nothing to do with chometz and with condiments. Here's the nafkamina ben shalom the coin el Palim. The coin took l'shalom mitvuas chulin. The coin you have to pay with tvuas chulin for lo damim, not money. Palim mishalim the damim. You have to pay money. Litapel. You don't have to get grain for them. So Meir Tirchim Mutal Ba'Bais, according to the Rameir, Ba'Bais has to get the Tefillah, Rabbanon al Poalim, and Rabbanon's on the Poalim. That's right, Rishim Lakish, because of the law plige, according to Rishim Lakish in the primary part of the then no Lakish, Lama Ikasur Ba'Bais. The Ikasur is on the Ba'Bais. So the Ikasur is on the Ba'Bais. Is that he has to pay for the. Everybody agrees that even the mayor agrees that the Gazuz about bias, according to Rish Lakish, that he's got to make the payment. The question is who has. The Gazuz about bias. He's responsible for the Iker Suda. He has to make the payment according to Rabbanon. Iker Suda Paul have to make the payment. And the question just becomes, it's going to be a Chanon. Okay, Shimon Lakish, everybody agrees that the payment has to be made by the Ba'Bais. Question, who gets it, who gathers up the Tashlumei Truma. I don't know. Here the pshat is difficult. I wonder if pshat there is something here which might be helpful to us. Or it might be for that matter. No. But I think that it's going on the. Yeah, so there is more. Shai so it's going to goes on tomorrow's Gemara. And so maybe when we get through that, we'll see more about it. But that already is part of that Samach. So, yeah, part of Rabbi Avo. Okay, so when we get to Rabbi Avo tomorrow, we'll see if that helps us anymore. But meantime, these two pshatim. The Kavanaki travels to Ratzriel's pshat that has to do with the condiments which you added on, which are not necessarily something with about Bais Chayv to give the Poalim, and according to the Ridbaz, And the Grod has to do with the Tashlut. Well, not I don't know Grod, but according to Baz, has to do with the who has to get the actual Chulim to Kohanim in order to make them Tashlut B'Tshuvah. And we'll see how that plays out with the next Gemara.